At this point, it's almost impossible to scroll any of the tech social media without seeing one of these guys. This is the Flipper Zero. It's a tiny little device that looks like a Tamagotchi. You can even play some games on it. For example, Tetris. But at the same time has almost any sensor or transmitter you can imagine. I mean, this thing has Bluetooth Low Energy. It has GPIO ports on the top. It has infrared transmitter, including universal infrared transmitter. It has iButton, which I have no idea who still uses that, but it has it. Sub 1 GHz radio transmission, NFC, and even can copy doorknobs. So let's hold the intro, and after that dive deeper into that magical little device. So the Flipper Zero at this point has sold over 80 million units, so it's definitely popular. Now, part of its popularity is because it's been attributed some magical features all over TikTok and other platforms that it can hack or break into anything. And that is partially true. Later in the video, we'll be playing a game that I like to call Truth or Hype. But before that, I wanna share with you some of the actual uses I get from the Flipper Zero. Now, the Flipper Zero comes from the factory quite limited because they try to play it safe and adhere to all the local laws in all the different countries. However, it just takes 2 minutes to install an open source firmware because Flipper's hardware and the Flipper's software is all open source, and that unlocks a bunch of different possibilities. So what do I personally use the Flipper Zero for? First, I use it to open all the different doors and key fobs, both at home and in the office. I use it to open my garage door. I use it as my key card in various co-working spaces and hotels. I use it to lower down the volume in cafes and restaurants if they're too loud, because sometimes, especially here in Serbia, they can be really annoying. And the universal remote here is super powerful. I actually use it as a remote control for my camera as well, because it can emulate the IR signal of many different cameras, or actually of almost any device, and you can program it with any IR remote that you might have lying around as well. You can use the Flipper Zero for a bunch of other things. Actually, since it has a USB connection as well, it can be a Rubbery Ducky, in case you don't know what is a Rubbery. And I would assume that most of you don't know what is a Rubbery Ducky. It is basically a keyboard emulation. So when you connect it to a computer and press a button on the device, it plays a whole script of commands very quickly on the computer. So that can be used, let's say, at a user in an unlocked computer, or just to copy something or do a quick request to some web server and download a Trojan horse. Another option. Not what I use it for, but it's possible. And in fact, with some of the custom firmware, you can use it basically to do that over Bluetooth as well, so you don't even need to connect it over USB. The Flipper Zero is also an authentication device. You can use it as your key as a two-factor authentication. And basically, for me, it replaces all those devices just with one small device that can hold its battery between a week to a month, depends on the usage, while also being super fun. And as I mentioned earlier, it can also pretend to be a Tamagotchi or kind of a simple, handheld game. In fact, a large part of the inspiration for the Flipper Zero comes from the Ponagotchi, which was an open source DIY hacking device. Right, let's play a little game. The game is called Truth or Hype. I'm gonna name different things allegedly are possible with the Flipper Zero. You will pause the video, leave a comment, do you think this is possible or not, and then I will give you the answer. Deal? Deal. Point number 1. The Flipper Zero can be used to steal credit cards. Pause the video. What is the answer? The answer is, it depends. If you have an NFC protected wallet such as this one, then no, the Flipper cannot read it. However, if you have your credit card in a simple wallet, maybe a paper wallet or something, literally takes one touch and the Flipper just scanned my credit card number. Card that I just read doesn't have my name or address, but the reality is that for many websites, including Amazon, you don't need them. You don't even need the CVV. All you need is the full number and expiration date, which the Flipper Zero scans in literally a second. Next, is it true that Flipper Zero can open gates and doors? True, and it can open both the gates that you have the key to, and in many cases the gates that you don't have the key to, because the Flipper Zero can also scan and read key fobs with its 125 kHz RFID. I basically put it to read, touch a key fob, ta-da, I have that, and now I can emulate it very easily, or save it and use it whenever I need. But the Flipper Zero can also brute force different gates and different doors just by tying all the different combinations. Now, an average door with a key fob has huge amount of combinations, so it's impossible to tie all of them. However, most such gates or doors, when they're installed, whoever installs them does not expect people to start to brute force them. And because of that, many of them use the default code, which the Flipper Zero can decode within 20 second stops. The Flipper can open car doors. Again, leave in the comment, what do you think? Can the Flipper Zero open a car door? And the answer is false. Most cars, with very few exceptions, use something that is called a rolling code, which means that every time the key fob opens the car answers and the key changes its code. Now, the Flipper can capture and read that code, but it can do it once, given that the key fob did not communicate with the car. If the key fob communicated with the car expects a different code than the one that the Flipper has captured. If the car expects a different one, it won't work. In fact, in some cases, capturing and replaying the code from a car key fob can screw the connection between the car key fob and the car, so be careful with it. There are a few other fun things that you could do with the car with the Flipper Zero. For example, specifically in Teslas, you can open the charging tank or the charging door. But that's it. That's the only thing you can do. Okay, next one. The Flipper Zero can change traffic lights. Boom, boom, boom. Leave in the comments. What do you think? Can the Flipper Zero change the traffic lights to green when you're driving around? This one is a maybe. Hear me out. By itself, the Flipper cannot change traffic lights. However, in some countries, including the US, there is a special frequency that you can transmit with infrared to the traffic lights to make them change color to green, and those are used by emergency vehicles. The Flipper can emulate that signal, and in fact you can pretty easily download that signal. However, you need a super powerful IR blaster to do that, and it is heavily illegal. Don't do that. You're ruining the life for the emergency cars, you're for everybody else. Don't be an inconsiderate. Next one, can the Flipper Zero unlock encrypted keycards? It's encrypted. Can it unlock? And the answer is yes, it can. It can unlock encrypted keycards because in many cases the Flipper itself can decode the encryption of the cards. In many cases, not all, but it works with the WeWork cards, it works with many hotel cards. It works. If the Flipper itself is not strong enough, it can offload that to your cell phone, and then the cell phone will be the one decoding it. And in many cases that will work as well, and it's enough to decode it once. The Flipper can help when you lost the remote to your audio or video device. What do you think? Can you do that? Comment. Well, yes it can. It has a universal remote that can tie all kinds of different signals until it finds the one that actually works. Okay, that concludes our truth or hype game. I hope that was fine. Let's say you bought a Flipper Zero, what do you do with it? Well, first you need to install custom firmware, and that is surprisingly and very, very easy. There's plenty of guides. I'm sure you'll figure it out if you get a device like that. From that point on, the Flipper basically appears as a drive on your computer, rather like you can use the Flipper software to add or install things to the Flipper, or you can use your cell phone to connect to it via Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth low energy, so it's slow, but most of the files you will upload are anyway pretty small. Can the Flipper do something that you couldn't do before? Not really. Everything that the Flipper can do can be done with an Arduino or Raspberry Pi with additional add-ons or hats, as they're sometimes called, and nothing that the Flipper does is kind of secret or unavailable otherwise. However, and that's a big however, the Flipper is a tiny little device that you can just keep in your pocket or in your bag at all times. The availability and accessibility of that device is amazing. And that's what makes it so cool and at the same time so dangerous as well. Now, to answer the question I asked at the beginning, is that a hacking device? Well, it's a tool. The flipper is basically the Swiss Army knife of the geek. In the hands of somebody who knows what to do with it, it can do a lot of good and a lot of damage. In the hands of somebody who doesn't know what to do with it, it will become a cute little paperweight in basically no time, very, very quickly. I got it 3 or 4 months ago, and I mean, I'm using it literally daily. I use it to turn on lights, turn on the camera, control my phone, turn on the TV, turn on the AC, unlock my Google account, and so on and so forth, like a lot of uses. However, if you think that you will buy this and you will magically become like this super hacker that can hack everything, that's not the case. Don't even expect that. For me, the flipper basically replaced a bunch of little devices, including the key fobs, including YubiKey and so on, and made my digital life substantially more convenient. If you want to buy one of those, be sure to click in the link below. Funny story. I was actually thinking, should I get one or not, for a long while. And I was thinking, okay, I mean, it costs $169, which is not a lot, but also it's not cheap. And I wasn't sure what will I do with it. Until Amazon banned it and no longer sell it on Amazon. And that's the point where I said, there is something interesting though. I definitely should get one. I got one for quite a bit more than $169, and I'm very, very happy about it. I hope you enjoyed this video or learned something from it. If you're interested in buying a device like this, use the link in the description below. If you're interested in more gadgets, AI hacks, and life hacks, be sure to subscribe to this video. And please leave a thumbs like so the algorithm will know to show this video to more people. I'll see you next time when I feel making a video. Until next time, bye bye.